What's up, guys, and welcome back to a new video for the YouTube channel. This should probably be the last one where I don't have a microphone, so from now on, from the next video, the sound will be much better. So this video is to talk a little bit about how you can program your own football, soccer workouts in season or during the off season, and how I plan my workouts with my pro athletes, my pro football players, when they have, already games that they're playing with their teams, that they already have training with their teams also a couple of times a week. So, basically how I usually do it, as you know, I'm a specialist in everything speed, power, which is obviously one of the most important things for football. So I specialize in, getting the athletes faster on the pitch. So usually what happens with the guys, almost everywhere, but especially also here in the UAE, but the guys are focused too much with the team on endurance training. The cardio is really good, the conditioning is really good, but they don't really train so much for strength or for anything explosive like change of directions, accelerations, stuff like that. So the players should be doing that by themselves. So either they come to me or I give them training programs to do on my app. So by the way, if you ever interested in those programs, training programs that I can do, either personalized or standard ones, just send me a message either on Instagram, direct message, or you can write in the comments and I'll answer your questions about that. But yeah, so how I would start and how you should start if you're doing your own thing also. You start with dynamic warm-up. All right, so dynamic warm-up means you maybe run for 2, 3, 4, 5 minute stops, just to get the blood going in your legs, warm up everything, get your heart rate going, warm up the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments. And then you do some certain drills, like A skips, like butt kicks, that kind of stuff, that are going to help you to have proper technique for running and to warm up the muscles the way they're supposed to be warmed up. And then we'll have, including the dynamic warm-up, we'll have also some dynamic stretching, like scorpion, like the world's greatest stretch, always dynamic before the workout. So you warm up the muscles, you warm up your nervous system, but you don't actually get them tired or relaxed like static stretching would do for you. All right. So we start with this, and then we'll do some activation, some glute activation, some hamstring activation, posterior chain, the muscles that we're trying to work. Because when you do something like a squat or a deadlift or anything like that, or a sprint, here we're trying to teach your body to use the proper muscles, all right, to prevent injuries and to improve your performance. All right, so we'll do some of that. Maybe a little bit change directions, drills with some cones, some ladders. And if it's possible with the schedule, we'll do some max velocity work and drills. So this means, some actual sprints, 20, 30, maybe even 40 meters, all out. All right, so that means that you have to make sure you take enough rest in between each rep, a couple minutes, ideally 1, 2, 3 minutes at least. The longer it is, the sprint, the longer your rest should be in between the reps. And you have to do these at least once a week to work on your speed, all right? Because in your team, very often, like I said earlier, they focus too much on the conditioning and not so much on the speed training. And if you don't actually train your speed, you won't get faster with the other type of trainings. All right, so it's important that you do this at least once a week, and during the off season, maybe 2 or 3 times a week also. That might be also same thing for plyometrics. All right, you make sure in between each set that you rest, that you recover enough, your nervous system is good to go again, and then you go again. All right. And then after that, we'll do some gym training. So here you want to do, some big compound exercises. We're talking variations of the squats, the deadlifts, stuff like that. And that includes your core also. And usually during the season, especially, we'll do unilateral stuff, which means one-legged stuff. So one-legged variations of the squats, deadlifts. So we're talking Bulgarian split squats. We're talking single leg Romanian deadlifts. What you want to do in your program is include work for the front of your legs, which is the quads, more like squats and stuff, but also a lot of stuff for the posterior chain. We're talking glute ham raise. We're talking about variation of deadlift, because your hamstrings need to be strong, need to be trained properly in strength, so that you prevent injuries when you play football on the pitch after. All right. So we'll do a couple sets of that. The volume, the amount of sets depends on the schedule that you have. You don't need to do a lot of volume. All right. The whole session might take 45 minutes max. Important thing is to focus on the quality and the intensity. All right. So that's the most important. And then depending how the schedule is, we might just do a little finisher at the end to work on the conditioning. But usually if the guys have a big schedule, training with the team almost every day, there's no need to do that. So we focus mostly, and that's what you should be doing also by yourself, strength and explosive work, because we know that with the team, you're going to be working the other components that you need for football. All right. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, as usual, write in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe and to share this channel. I'm gonna keep going with once a week I'll be posting on here. I'm also going to be starting the podcast again with my friend Rob, so we'll be answering questions every week also on there. So feel free, if you have any questions or anything, write to me on Instagram or in the comments here. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Let's get explosive.